Is RAM really that important for making beats? All these computer parts could feel confusing sometimes when you're making music. You don't know what you should have, what you shouldn't have. I'm going to demystify the RAM in today's video. What's up guys, my name is Tiny, I'm a music producer, songwriter, and today we are going to talk about RAM. So first of all, what is RAM? So the acronym for RAM stands for Random Access Memory, which helps the computer perform if you want, because there's like measurements of performance. If you have more RAM, it should perform better technically. But for music, it kind of depends how much you need. You don't need to go overboard with your RAM. So random access memory is basically temporary memory that the computer has to access, like it says, when it's running an application. So my best analogy for this would be the human short-term memory. Let's say someone tells you to remember a phone number, and then they tell you after to tell them back that phone number in like 10, 20 seconds, or even like, let's say 20 minutes, something that's very short term. That's what RAM is. It's basically that accessibility, like for quick memory. How does that help a computer in general? Well, it helps your computer to have more applications open, for example. So let's say you're playing video games and you're also streaming the game at the same time with one computer, then your computer is going to need more RAM because it needs to hold a lot more memory. So how does that help us in music? In music, when you have your program open, you will end up at some point with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, maybe even 40, 100 tracks. Well, RAM is exactly that. It is holding those tracks in place for you to be able to actually play them on the second that you click on play. So the quick data that the RAM needs to use in music is basically all your tracks that you have at the same time playing, all your sample libraries open, your VSTs, and also any other application that you have running at the same time. Now, let me give you some rough numbers of what you would need in terms of RAM for your computer if you maybe need to upgrade. So I would say that if your computer has 4 gigabytes of RAM, it is not enough to do any advanced things in music. You would be able to do very basic tracks in like GarageBand or any DAW. You would be able to run like maybe 4 or 5 tracks, but nothing too crazy, not too many plugins, not too many VSTs going on at the same time. Only at like 8 gigabytes will you start being able to run a lot of tracks, a lot of VSTs, lots of samples and effects going on at the same time. The only problem that I find with 8 gigabytes, which is on my Mac personally, is that I can't run many applications other than my DAW. So I use Ableton, for example. That's the most experience I have. I've used Logic as well, and Logic is very similar to Ableton in terms of performance. When I use Ableton, I'm not able to run like, let's say, Chrome or Safari at the same time. Especially, I wouldn't be able to have like another screen or something for the RAM to hold more data. It starts to get rough on the computer. 8 gigabytes of RAM is good if you're only focusing on music at that point. 16 gigabytes is honestly the perfect sweet spot. That's what my PC here has. I have 16 gigs. I'm able to make music and stream at the same time, which is really great. I used to have 12 gigabytes in the PC before, and that was also really good. I was able to just go like on, let's say, Chrome and just like browse the web, search for samples while I have Ableton open. It didn't cause any problems, but I wasn't really able to stream. But 16 gigabytes where I was able to do some like hardcore, like real computer shit. And then at 32 gigabytes, I would say that it's overkill, but it's not bad at all. It's not bad to have more for a computer. Computers are like the only thing in the world where if you have too much, then it's not bad at all if you want. But if you would like to consider selling your RAM, you can if you're only making music. But I don't think anyone would want to sell their RAM if they have 32 gigs. Usually if you have 32 gigs, you're probably gaming, streaming, and doing the whole thing. If you're a beginner, and like I said, if you're considering buying 4 gigabytes of RAM, it's definitely enough for you to start. But I think that if they're looking for a computer, they should at least buy 8 gigs of RAM, because applications are getting a little more intense nowadays for computers, and 4 is honestly not holding up enough. And most people want to like look up samples at the same time that they have their like Ableton open, and you don't want to have like a slow computer when you're like hopping from like Chrome to Ableton, like dragging and dropping samples, downloading, resampling, another app to find the key. You want to have that at least like 8 gigs for stuff to run like smoothly. You're going to get more advanced at some point because no one stays a beginner forever, right? So that's my only advice. I used to have a 4 GB RAM computer before, and that shit was super slow when I was trying to get like to 10 tracks with a bunch of like VSTs and stuff like that, or just plugins. It was just not good. So that's my advice for you guys today. Just wanted to talk about RAM. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a like if you did. I hope you guys learned a little bit about RAM today and your computers, and in terms of music, because that's what we talk about on this channel. Everything is about music production and music theory. So subscribe for more if you would like to see more of that stuff, and check out my music in the description down below if you're interested. I have mixing and mastering services as well. I also sell beats. It's in the link down below as well. As always, my name is Tiny, and I'm signing out.